Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with TP-Link. Today's host is Camelia, and she is our territory account representative and presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and Camelia will be able to answer today's presentation. Camelia, thank you so much for being with Microcom today. We greatly appreciate it. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for the introduction, Julie. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the new product line that we have launched called VG. VG is our surveillance camera line, complete with the VMS and NVRs and DVRs. This solution is something that we manufacture entirely independently, so it's an exciting new addition to the market. For those of you who have been with us before, you already know or are familiar with our Omada line. An exciting aspect of the launch of the VG line is that in future, by end of 2025, beginning of 2026, we're actually going to merge the platforms. Excuse me, sorry. We're going to be merging the platforms and so that you can both manage your networking and your surveillance under one viewing pane. So this is just a little bit of a background on why we decided to call VG VG. It is derived from vigilance. The whole idea is to safeguard your premises. This product line was actually launched about 6 months ago. 4 to 6 months ago, we launched our first product, and we debuted the product line at ISC West earlier this year. So in this product line, we have a few different categories. Obviously, we have our cameras, and I'll go into the type of cameras that we have. Our cameras are fully metal, and they do have full transmission methods as well. We have a full line of cameras, so that includes bullet, turret, dome, pan, tilt, and fisheye. We'll also be releasing a PTZ camera very soon. Our video recorders also come in a couple of different categories. We have both wired and Wi-Fi. We also have a VMS solution. It's called VG VMS. There's a cloud version, a PC version, and a GUI version. Our VMS system is constantly advancing and evolving, so I'll talk about a few of the features on it today, and in future we can do a live demo. I also want to note that our cameras are on Viv. All our products are on Viv. So if you do have a VMS solution that you currently use that you'd like to continue to use, our cameras will be compatible with it. So what kind of cameras do we currently have? A little bit of information. This I won't focus on too much, but feel free to screenshot this page. This just gives you a little bit of insight into how we name our cameras. That way, it will be very easy for you to pinpoint what features a camera has or to search for a camera that you're looking for. So within our turret and eyeball category, we have full color turret network cameras. These cameras have a couple different features: people and vehicle analytics, two-way audio, active defense, and also has H.265 compression technology. Almost all our cameras have this technology available. Within this camera, these are the features that are available on the camera itself. We also have features available on our VMS. You can see what features are available on our VMS for a specific camera by looking at its spec sheet. Currently, we have 3 cameras released in this line and available on the market: the S445, which is a 2.8 millimeter, the S445, that's a 4 millimeter, and then the Insight S485, which is another 2.8 millimeter. Within our bullet category, we also offer full color. Within this category, again, people and vehicle analytics and classification. We also have two-way audio on these and active defense. And again, the compression technology. Within this line, we have 3 different cameras available: the S345, the S, which is 2.8 millimeter, the Insight S345, that's the 4 millimeter, and the 385, which is 2.8 millimeter. So the 345s are 4 megapixel cameras, and I believe the 385 is an 8 megapixel camera. On this slide as well, if you go back, same thing here. First two are 4 millimeter, or 4 megapixel, pardon me, and the last one is an 8 megapixel. So these are the cameras that we have and we're expecting to release by the end of Q4. The S445ZI, the S345ZI, the Insight S665i. This one is interesting. It's actually a full 360 camera right here. We'll also release the 245 and the 285, which is an indoor dome at 4 megapixels and 8 megapixels. We'll also release the S485 PI and the S385 PI. The S445S will also be released. I believe the S345S has already been released. So that's a little bit about our cameras. I didn't go into too much detail because there is a wide range of them and each camera comes with its unique features and functionality. That being said, everything is available on our website. If you go into our business, if you go to tplink.com and you click on business, you'll see a category called VG. Under VG, you'll be able to pull up the specs and detailed information on each type of camera. So now to move on to our network recorders, our NVRs, and our software. And again, this is just some information of how our NVRs are named. You're welcome to take a screenshot of this slide as well. This just gives you an idea of what a NVR is capable of based on its naming convention. So with our PoE NVRs, we currently have a 4-channel, an 8-channel, and a 16-channel that is released. These have 2 terabyte in the 4 and 8 channel and 4 terabytes in the 16 channel. These are just some of the specs on here. Most significant difference between the 4 and 8 versus the 16 is the network interface on the 16 is 1 gig for the NVR, and then the PoE interface for all 3 of the NVRs are 10100, and then here are the PoE budgets. Typically, I would recommend coupling our NVR with a PoE switch if you're using if you require higher wattage. This is just some more technical information in here for you, including the type of hard drive, video interface, etc. So our NVRs are very easy to use, as is typical of TP-Link. We want to make things as easy as possible and as simple as possible for you to use while maintaining the integrity of the solution and the capabilities of the solution. So we've been working on this line for a couple of years now to ensure that we can give you just that. So if you want to use the NVR without an online VMS system or without our online VMS system, all you have to do is log into the online system and enable plug and play. Once you enable plug and play, you can click through one click of the NVR, you can plug in those cameras and they'll be ready to go into view for you. This, again, simplifies your whole process and simplifies or reduces the installation time that you might have. Our app also offers mobile viewing. So with this, you have 2 interfaces. One mobile view is the interface that you as the installer integrator will see. This will have more detailed information for you. The other interface is the one that you would offer the client to see if they want to use the mobile app, which will just be a screen of whichever cameras, either all or specific cameras that you'd like to offer them access to. On your side as the installer, you do have the ability to connect the devices directly through the app by scanning the QR code. You can also control your devices and modify certain settings. And you'll also receive notifications when an event is detected. This notification feature is also available for your client. So say you have a security guard on site, needs to be notified if anything happens on the camera. It's a second layer of a contingency layer almost to confirm that nothing is missed on the cameras. You can also play back your recorded history through the app. So on our controller or on our software right now, we have about 6 viewing, my apologies, 6 viewing panes. The first one is our dashboard. Let me see if I can zoom this in for you. So within the dashboard, you're able to see how many sites you have on your VMS. So obviously if it's a NVR, you can still manage it through the VMS, right? Through our online portal. Or let me clarify that. Through our online portal, obviously if you're using our NVR, you will only have one site, but if you're using our VMS cloud, you might have multiple sites on that same video management software. This dashboard page lets you know how many sites are currently active on your software, your cloud software, how many cameras are online, and how many cameras you have in total. And then it allows you to also look at your different sites and different cameras in here. Say you have a certain feature enabled, such as human detection, you can also have those specific panes visible to you here. In your sites page, you're able to see either all your sites, or you can enable certain sites. You can also look at your data in different time spans. This, I believe, spans 24 hours, 7 days, and 30 days as the preset spans. You can also go in and create a custom time frame to look at. In your live view, you can configure this in multiple ways. This is just a standard 4-way, but you can configure this up to 9 panels within this viewing pane. And then you can select from which sites you want to view those panels. Obviously, most often you view all 9 panels from the same site. However, if you have some smaller sites, say each smaller site has about 3 cameras, you'd be able to view 3 sites at once. In your playback view, this is what your page will look like. You'll be able to select the video that you'd like to play back and scroll through that. Pretty standard. You're also able to map monitor. So you're able to geotag your cameras on your blueprint, and then knowing where your cameras are, you can actually hover over them and view directly from the map view a specific location. So say you're looking for a specific customer or a specific person in the store, or trying to follow a specific person, instead of looking through the video feed right here, you can actually go through it right here as well. Another tool that's very useful for you as the installer is the ability to design your project. So again, very similar to our Armada platform, if you go into our design panel, you can remotely add, or I'm sorry, you can digitally add any device, whether or not you have it connected to your system at that point. And then once you connect those devices and you run the simulation, it will show you exactly what points are covered and what points will be in your blind spots. This is just your site list, so it'll allow you to see all the different sites that you have, and then you can divide that by different sites, online, offline, types of cameras, etc., etc. right in here. So an important question is, what is the application of VG? In what scenarios can you use VG? These are some of the examples in which you can use our solution. I've already had a few customers use this in residential, and they've been residential new builds, and they've been very happy with the product. We've also had a few small offices already use this product, and retail offices use this product. It's also applicable to hospitality, gas station, and hotels. I will say hotels, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be MDU, actually. With hospitality and hotels, or MDUs, at this point, I would say our features are still pretty simple. So if you have a simple application, it works great, it's reliable, it stays online. If you need a few more complicated or complex and advanced features in terms of AI analytics or AI capabilities, those will come soon. However, they're not yet quite available. This would be for simpler installations within these categories. I'm also currently working on a grocery store project that will be using these cameras. So there are a few different, grocery store fits into retail, a few different applications for you in here. If you're already installing networking, this is a great additional package that you can offer your clients, in the sense that for you, it's very easy that these two systems are by the same manufacturer, so very intuitive in terms of dashboard design. You have to deal with one person, which would be me and my team. The other thing is you're setting yourself up for the future, because once our two management platforms are merged, you'll be able to manage both your networking and your video surveillance under one viewing pane, which helps in many ways. One being that there is no complexity or confusion between the two, or having to learn two different systems. You can see exactly how everything is connected and working together under one viewing pane. And oftentimes, if there's ever something to fix, say a camera goes out, doesn't matter what product you are, doesn't matter how strong of a product you have, the technology is finicky sometimes. So say a camera goes out or a connection is going in and out. A lot of times the difficulty is that you're looking at the cameras through one system, you're looking at the network through a separate system, and if there's any issue at the intersect of those two systems that needs mitigation, you aren't able to actually view how those two systems are intersecting in full force. With the merger of these two systems, you'll be able to see both independently and in their interaction with one another. So this is just an example of a topology for how our system can be set up. You use, say, our Armada routers, or apologies, our Armada switches. With an Armada router, you can also use a third-party router. You have the NVR right here, and then you have your different cameras that are connected. We will be releasing a full range of outdoor and indoor cameras, some of which have already been released in both categories. And then obviously don't forget about our bridge kits, which can be a lifesaver for you. We released, I don't know if I mentioned this in our last webinar, but we did release bridge kits under Omada. If you've been working with us for a while, you know that we have the Pharos bridge kit line. However, it wasn't managed under the same system as Omada. So we did release Omada bridge kits under the same umbrella as our switch management to allow for easy use and easy management. These bridge kits are a lifesaver. I can't tell you how many surveillance projects I work on with these bridge kits. I'm working on one right now where there's only one ISP connection and 18 buildings in the apartment complex. So bridge kits just allow you a lot more flexibility with a lot more cost-effective approach than trying to run wire or bring in multiple ISP connections. Again, don't forget Omada. So Omada is here to integrate with VG. As I mentioned already, our wireless bridge kits, our routers are continually evolving and improving, and we've put a big focus on developing our routers to higher and higher enterprise standards. So that's something to be excited about. Our PoE switches are also something to be excited about. We actually just released a switch. I believe it's the SG6428X and 66452. These are two switches, a 28 port and a 52 port. They're both L3 switches, but the most exciting thing is that they have two power supplies, one for redundancy or one for main power supply and one for redundancy or expansion. The redundancy or expansion PoE slot is hot swappable, so you don't have to unplug anything if you do want to add that one in. And the fans are also removable. So say you're not using the full capability of the switch or full capacity and you want to lower the fan usage, you can pull those in and out. You don't have to replace the switch if the fan burns out. You can just replace the fan component. With these switches, the 28 port has a max PoE budget of 720 watts with a redundancy slot for another 720 watts in redundancy. Our 52 port has a max PoE budget of 1440 watts. Each slot can handle up to 900 watts. That being said, with this one, you can actually also expand. So you can either use the second slot for redundancy, where you stay at the maximum of 900 watts, or you can use the second slot for expansion of the PoE budget, which can bring you up to 1440 watts. And additionally, our accessories, things like our PoE injectors, media converters, etc., are always a very easy addition for you to simplify your solution and lower your costs. That's everything I have for you guys. I hope this was informative. I know that we weren't able to go into too much detail about the product. I wanted this to be a basic overview. If there is significant interest, I'm happy to do a live demo. Next week when we do our webinar, I'll talk more about the integration between Omada and VG, and I can run us through a quick live demo of our controller. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Camelia. That was a wonderful presentation. And we do have some audience questions for you. Let's get started with the first one. Can you tell us what types of analytics and reporting capabilities does the software provide?
Yes, definitely. So, like I mentioned in the presentation, let me pull this back up. So with our management service, some of the analytics include person detection, intrusion detection. Let me pull that up. I forget the specific name. So there's person detection, intrusion detection, human animal detection. There's also the ability to segment out. So for example, say you have a screen and there's a specific segment where you want to track movement in that segment. You can segment that out so that movement in a specific section of your video can be managed and monitored. You can also monitor human control, like traffic control. So this is great for retail. If you have a retail space, this is an analytic feature that can be used to upsell your service. In that human population control or movement control essentially will show you where your hotspots are within your site. So where does traffic gravitate towards more? This can help the retailer adjust their layout to optimize for what customers are gravitating towards the most, and then also subsequently this optimizes and increases their traffic. There are a few other
Thank you. Please go ahead.
There are a few other features in there too, which like I said, next week when we do the live demo of the controller, I'll be sure to go over in more detail.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that, Camelia. Next question here for you. How does VG ensure data security for users utilizing cloud services?
So our cloud service is hosted on AWS. We have the highest security capabilities on there. There's been no issue with our security. Our security has been well verified. For peace of mind of our customers, we're also going through a third party right now to give us an additional certification and verification of our controller security. That being said, we hosted on AWS. AWS is the most secure cloud platform out on the market right now, and we take multiple pains to ensure that our security is of utmost importance.
Thank you so much for that, Camelia. Next question here for you. Can users manage VG systems across different locations through the cloud?
Yes. So the sites that I mentioned, having different sites, each site constitutes a specific location.
Thank you so much. Next question here for you. How does AI contribute to reducing false alarms in VG systems?
So essentially the AI is continually learning, right? So as you get false alerts, you can actually select that this is a false alert or not. And then as you do so, it will actively learn what is considered a false alert and what is not. And through that, the AI is able to optimize your system. It's a learning based
Excellent.
to a ChatGPT or whatever type of adaptive AI there is out in the market right now. It's an adaptive AI model.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question. Couple more questions here. How is user feedback utilized to improve AI functionalities?
So again, this goes back to the point I just mentioned. We have an adaptive AI model. So as you input your feedback on the analytics and data that you're receiving, the AI model is able to adapt and learn based on your feedback and then improve its processes and its selections and alerts through that feedback.
Thank you so much for that, Camelia. Can you give us a brief overview of the warranties on these products?
So the standard warranty for each product is about 2 years.
Camelia, thank you so much for answering all of those questions for us today. And also thank you to everyone for attending. And if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown today, please remember this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so we could all view it again. Camelia, thank you so much for your time and your presentation today. We look forward to continuing into part 2 next week. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you so much, Julie.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.